Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be taking a look today at the Leech as it appeared on the test server. This is the second time around that I've been able to play it on the test server, and there's been some changes. Now, for those of you that didn't get a chance to try out Leech the first time around, it is a new robot with 4 medium weapons. You can see the specs there: 110 or 111,000 health, 50 kilometers an hour speed at level 8. And it has this crazy ability called Repulse, and basically when you shoot at it and I engage my ability, then any of the damage that you're sending towards me is repulsed back on you to a certain degree. Now here's some of the old stats. You saw it was 94,000 and 48 kilometers an hour, and now it's been put up to, like I said before, to 111 and 50 kilometers an hour. And so, you know, there's been a little bit of controversy about this type of robot because the first time around that it appeared, the ability actually went through all barriers and obstacles. So if you were hiding around a wall, if you were trying to hide behind a rock, I could leech onto you and cause you damage as long as you were shooting me. So that was really kind of a, you know, it was one of those ones where, you know, if you're looking for fair gameplay, it's kind of tough. If you're hiding and you still take damage, it kind of ticks people off just a little bit. So anyway, this time around, you know, Pixonic listened to the feedback and they've made some changes. So now if you are hiding behind a barrier, then you cannot take the damage, say if you're corner shooting or that kind of thing, which is good. And so let's talk a little bit about the video and about what you're going to see here. So I'm going to do a little bit of gameplay just to kind of show you how this thing works, and also you know, use the ability and kind of give you a visual look at some of the changes that have also taken place on the test server since the last time we did it. So one of the things that is kind of cool about, and I noticed that the skin has actually changed. If you look at it now, it's kind of got a bit of a camo. Jungle camo kind of thing going on there, but it's a little darker now than it was before. It was a bit more silver last time around, so they've darkened up the paint job a little bit. And basically what you do is you can sneak up on a guy like I am here, and there I'm going to use my ability, and watch this. Watch it. He's going to do it to me as well, and we're going to leech each other here. Look at that. And so what happens is when I am taking damage, when I'm taking leech damage, I suddenly start to glow that crazy sparkly purple color. So that's when you know that you are taking damage yourself. Now the weird thing was there is that I actually was using my leech ability on the other guy, so he was glowing that crazy purple color as well. And so, you know, there's lots of questions about this robot, a lot of stuff that people are kind of wondering already, which is, you know, what happens when two leeches leech each other? You know, do you both give damage to each other? Are you protected by it? It sounds like the idea is you will cause damage to the other person using your leech ability by having it repulse back on them. However, if you are shooting a robot that is a leech and it's leeching you or repulsing you, you will again suffer back the damage you're shooting at him. And I think it's around something like 50% of the damage is sent back towards you. I mean, let me know in the comment section if I got that wrong. But anyway, it's kind of a crazy concept, and you know, I'm quickly running through some bots here. You're not going to see a lot of amazing gameplay. I really just wanted to kind of show you how the robot looks using some of the various weapon combos. You know, I like the fact you can see how fast I'm scooting on the battlefield here. I like the fact I can run a lot faster. So it's only at level 8, it's only another 2 kilometers an hour, but it does seem to make a bit of a difference. And you know, I still, myself personally, I'm not a big fan of using it sort of as a up-close brawler like I am now. I'm going to be trying the 4 orc hands. But, you know, to get within 300 meters, especially in this era of lockdown, that's a great example. So I'm trying to leech the guy, and I did cause some damage. You can see now when I'm leeching him, look at that cool mystical sort of pinkish purple glow around me. That's what, that again, that indicates that I'm leeching him. Now, if I'm getting hit by a leech, that's when it turns into that crazy disco, sparkly purple razzmatazz that you saw a little bit earlier in the gameplay. But you can see, you know, I mean, I think really this is more of a mid-range robot, or mid-range attacker would be better. You know, you know, if you can get up close like I am now, then it's the orcs aren't bad. But you also got to remember that the orcs were recently nerfed, so you know, this may or may not be an option for you. I know a lot of us longer term players have tons of orcs maxed and just sitting around, so maybe this will be the route that you want to take. But I'm just trying to think of, you know, some other options. Yeah, you know, I think Scourge would be really good for it. That would be a nice option. You could try, you know, obviously the lockdown coronas would be for me, the weapon of choice. Because again, you know how old Pappy here is a real big fan of lockdown weapons. I just think that they're totally necessary and a part of the meta that you can't get over or you can't get rid of. You need to be able to lock them down, especially in this case, right? Because if you can lock down a guy using this new Leech, then what you can do is you can lure or sucker him into shooting you. Then you can hit your ability, and you can really cause that repulse to do damage to your enemy. Now, one of the things that turns about tactics and gameplay, you're saying to yourself, well, Pappy, what do I do? You know, I mean, obviously you want to be able to make the most of this. I kind of suspect that this is a robot that will be very, very powerful when it first hits the server, because a lot of players may or may not be totally familiar with it and may or may not be totally understanding of how the dynamic works. Because the trick of it is that you only repulse damage if people are shooting you. So of course, you know, it's kind of a crazy thing to think, but how do you defeat someone using a Leech with the repulse ability? Well, you do it by not shooting at them, which of course is counter to every instinct that you have in the game, right? It's just sort of like, man, what am I going to do? You don't want me to shoot you? But it's almost, you got to think of it like you would an Ares, right? As soon as that shield goes up and the Ares is covered in that impenetrable energy shield, the last thing you do is shoot it, because if you shoot it, all you do is charge up the energy shield, and that gives all of that stored energy into the extra weapons that pop out in the Ares or the Nemesis and the Hades. So the way you counter it is you activate the shield with your weapons, and you force them to activate their protective shield. You wait till the duration ends, and then you go in for the kill. Well, this is going to be the same gameplay tactic to take down these Leech, is that you just, it's a pain in the butt, but you're going to have to hold fire. You're going to have to wait, and you're going to have to wait for that, you know, learn the timer, learn the countdown for this repulse ability, count down mentally in your head until it's over, and then go in for the kill. And I think once people figure that out, I think you're going to see a lot more of these things going down pretty quickly. But until then, you know, the first few lucky few that get a Leech on the battlefield, I think are going to have a pretty hog-wild time killing everybody, because they're going to be running into a bunch of bewildered players who are like, what the hell's going on? I'm shooting this guy, and yet I'm the one that's dying. So anyway, listen, those are my thoughts on the gameplay, and for the rest of the video, you're just going to be watching me run around like a ding-dong and shoot people and probably die several times, and that's sort of the way it is when you watch an old Pappy video. So until next time, obviously, you know, I really appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button, and if you share it with your friends, that's great. I appreciate it, every single person that subscribes. It's you guys that are, you know, that keeps me making these videos, and I really appreciate all the support you can give. So until next time, enjoy the gameplay, and I'll see you on the battlefield.